Have you ever heard the phrases book smart and street smart? When you hear about someone who is book smart, you often think about someone who is a bit nerdy, someone who knows a lot of obscure facts, maybe like each royal figure from the House of Tudor, or the names of every substance involved in the process of cellular respiration. We often think that even though these people know a lot, they could never survive out in the real world because they have no street smarts. Now, we often think of people who are street smart as being able to solve problems fast, recognize harmful situations, and get along with other people. And even though they have great people skills, we often think that people who have no book smarts and all street smarts will not get far because they don't have enough valuable knowledge. Now, both of these phrases, book smart and street smart, actually have roots in psychology. These ideas relate to the psychological topic of intelligences. In particular, book smart is similar to what is known as raw intelligence, aka IQ, while street smart is similar to what we know as emotional intelligence, aka EQ. In this video, we will not only cover what emotional intelligence is, but why it's a marker for success in all areas of life. Now, the first question that we must answer is, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is formally defined as a collection of abilities that allows a person to understand and perceive emotions. Like street smarts, emotional intelligence allows us to solve problems or react to any situation in a constructive way. At the simplest level, emotional intelligence is founded on the recognition and interpretation of the emotions of both other people and yourself. Daniel Goleman, one of the most prominent psychologists of the emotional intelligence movement, breaks down EQ into 5 components. They are awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Goleman describes self-awareness as recognizing one's own skills, desires, feelings, needs, etc. Self-regulation is the ability to make informed decisions and use self-control. Motivation is the desire to achieve. Empathy is the awareness of the emotions of others. And finally, social skills are the set of abilities that a person uses to prompt others to carry out what he or she wants. Similarly to Goleman, Meyer and Salovey separate emotional intelligence into 4 components instead of 5. They are perceiving emotion, using emotion to influence constructive thought, understanding emotion, and managing emotion. Though these 2 models are different, they give us an effective basis for understanding just what emotional intelligence is. Now to the pressing question. So how does emotional intelligence lead to success? Well, I'm glad you asked. Next, we look at how emotional intelligence is responsible for relationship success, occupational success, and personal success. Let's start with relationships. When talking about EQ and relationships, Daniel Goleman once said that the fine art of relationships requires the ripeness of 2 other emotional skills, self-management and empathy. Now, in any relationship, the 2 people involved need to be loyal, trusting, supportive, and sensitive. The reality is, emotional intelligence is what makes up these qualities. Recognizing the emotions of others and being able to see the world from their point of view are 2 skills of EQ. This fact shows that EQ leads to loyalty, trust, support, and sensitivity because you then have the ability to read your partner's emotions and positively respond to them. This is what leads to strong, healthy relationships. In fact, according to Brackett, Rivers, and Salovey, couples who scored higher on an emotional intelligence test reported more satisfaction and happiness in their relationships, while those with low scores had lower quality relationships and displayed more dysfunctional behavior. Next, let's look at occupational success. According to Rosette and Ciaraci, business leaders with higher emotional intelligence are more likely to achieve higher profit and are more highly revered by employees than those with lower EQ. This idea lines up with the principle that people who take initiative, who have a vision, and who can strategize, plan, and accomplish goals to achieve their vision are considered good leaders. These qualities are all displayed by those with strong emotional intelligence. Let's analyze the reason for these results. The reason that people with high EQ are successful business leaders is because they can read their employees and understand how they feel. By accommodating their workers, they increase productivity and thus increase profit. They also rise through the ranks of their respective companies because they maintain good relationships with their peers and bosses, and are viewed as caring, responsible, and motivated. Now, some people say that having a high IQ is more important for getting an executive position because, after all, you need knowledge to run a particular business. Well, though this may hold some truth, the fact is only a quarter of career successes are decided by IQ, while the remaining 3/4 depends on emotional intelligence. Now lastly, let's discuss personal success. Now, to me, personal success is finding satisfaction in life and avoiding negativity. Life satisfaction is the perceived quality of life taken from the observation of all areas of life and the satisfaction gained from each. You see, people with high emotional intelligence are personally successful because they are able to recognize and manage their emotions in order to promote personal well-being and have been shown to perform better in all areas of life. Another part of personal success is positivity, and having high emotional intelligence promotes positive attitudes and moods. Now, this positivity comes from practicing mindfulness, the awareness of and response to both the internal and external. In fact, Wang and Kong found that Chinese adults with higher levels of mindfulness were likely to perceive greater emotional abilities, which thus contributed to higher life satisfaction and less mental distress. Yes, people with high emotional intelligence are more satisfied with life because they are able to control their emotions and be aware of and at peace with their circumstances and their feelings about these circumstances. Now, in sum, mindfulness, empathy, compromise, and social competency are just a few of several skills that are encompassed by the umbrella of emotional intelligence. Having these abilities is the key to being successful in your career, your relationships, and in having satisfaction with the life that you lead. I hope you now understand how important it is to develop your own emotional intelligence. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Peace out, everybody.